We all understand that we share the same history with Ukraine, and of course we understand very well what that means to live under occupation. When we go back in history, also Spain has seen, and also many European countries have seen, what that means when someone is coming to your territory and wanting to take this by force. So every nation wants to decide its self-future, and it's the same with Ukrainians. It's our responsibility to help Ukraine as much as we can, not as long as it takes. The unity of NATO and the principle of NATO is very simple. One for all for one, and stronger we are together.
Why is it so important for Estonia to erase the Soviet rule?
You know, when we are living here in Estonia, then we are setting the rules. As Russia is setting the rules in Russia. In Russia there is no freedom of speech. In Russia there is no human rights. So this is what you can find here. When you take any kind of different ratings, rankings, then you can see that when we take the freedom of speech or when we take the level of corruption, then Estonia is in the top and Russia is among the last ones. And this aggression what Russia is conducting at the moment in Ukraine is just a very good example again of that what Russia might do to its neighbors. But this is not only the reason. The reason is also that Ukraine is fighting for all of us here in Europe, in the West, who value these human rights, this understanding what we take as a normality. Unfortunately, Russia is not doing that. The Ukrainian victory is, of course, extremely important because this, how the course of the war will, or the end of the war will look alike, will define also how the European security will look like in the future. And we all understand that, you know, the security environment is a lot depending on that, what happens in Ukraine. So, and not only European security, but also more globally, every dictator will look very closely what happens in Ukraine. And when the international community, who is valuing the human rights and democratic world order, that when we cannot help Ukraine sufficiently and not to give them the chance, then every dictator will see that, okay, it's okay to go to the other territory and take this by force.
Estonian intelligence services have warned that Russia is preparing for a military confrontation against the West over a decade, and it will increase the number of troops at its border. Is a direct or imminent military attack a real scenario?
Well, the reality is that Russia will be also a threat for all the NATO in the future. And we cannot escape from that, and we cannot run away from that. So we have to live here with this neighbor also in the future. And unfortunately, the fact is that Russian Minister of Defense has said that they want to increase its Russian military to 1.5 million personnel. They want to establish a new army corps close to our neighborhood, also close to Finland. That means that they will multiply 2 to 7 times their presence in our neighborhood. And obviously we have to address that, and then we have to do everything we can in our power to address that threat. And once again, this is not only the threat to Estonia, this is also the threat to all the NATO members, all the 32 what we have together with Sweden now. So this is why we have to be ready. Of course we are not scared, of course we are not taking this as something what can happen in the nearest future. But in mid-term and long-term perspective, we have to be ready to tackle these threats what we see coming from Russia. Russia started this war. And when we talk about the French proposal, then we have to be very clear here. President Macron talked about boots on the ground, and that doesn't mean that it's defense forces, or in that sense that Europe will go to war on the side of Ukraine. First and foremost, we are talking about the trainings and some other possibilities. So it's not that Europe or European countries will go to war with Russia at the moment. We have been on the position that we have to maximize our help to Ukraine as much as we can, but also we have to start from this, what is the urgent need. The urgent need is ammunition, the urgent need is air defense, the urgent need is training. And we have to increase the numbers of trainings, we have to increase the number of ammunition we can send to Ukraine, we have to increase the number of missiles and rockets we can send to Ukraine in order for them to clear the skies. So this is the first need what Ukrainians actually want to see.
And what about Putin? Because now, this month, is going to happen elections in Russia. So what more can NATO do to stop Putin? Because he's going to continue in power.
Well, sorry, it's not an election. It's a selection or nomination of Putin. So unfortunately, we do not see free elections in Russia. Even though everybody knows that the death of Alexei Navalny is on the hands of Putin, he will be reappointed to his position as a president of Russia. That means that his ultimate goal to re-establish a Russian empire and to humiliate the West, collective West, will be still there. So our response can be only one, and this response is stronger NATO, stronger allies, and these ties with what we have among the allies.
Do you think Europe is in position to rearm and to achieve military autonomy without the US support?
I believe that Europe is stronger already today, and of course it will be stronger in the coming years. What is important is that we should keep the military alliance as it is under the umbrella of NATO, and the European Union can additionally add some values to the military capabilities. So this is the different initiative what we have in European Union, not only towards Ukraine but also inside of Europe. And these mainly focusing on the financing part is something what Europe, especially European Union, can do. But as a military alliance, I strongly suggest to keep the unity in NATO. And I really do not see the option that US will leave NATO. No, we will continue helping Ukraine, and we are advocating for all that also with to our allies. Are you not ready? So if that's a question, so is there an opinion that Estonia is not ready to defend Spain? We are. This is the core of NATO. This is the one for all for one principle. I even do not understand this question, because otherwise we will say that NATO is not existing. 75 years NATO has been on the same position, that one for all for one principle is there. And if someone is saying today that it's not there, then I believe that country should not be the member of NATO.